Your Pratt Pack back at the Club at Shadow Lakes Pro Shop. Dirk Hartman and, of course, Jean-Sebastian Aubin, who also designs clubs for Golf Galaxy. They've got everything, speaking of golf, from Titleist, FootJoy, New Balance, you name it, they've got it. Before we talk about the Pens and Tampa Bay Lightning, we're going to talk your Pratt Pack's wide world of sports. Pirates lost 3-1 to the Braves last night. Jeff Locke on the hill tonight against those same Atlanta Braves. 7:05 is airtime on 93.7 The Fan. Also, it was 17 of his 28 points going in the third quarter for the great Steph Curry, the league's MVP, and it is now even at a game apiece between the Warriors and Thunder out in the West. 118-91 the final. Tonight, LeBron James and company try to make it 10-0 in the postseason and go up 2 games to none on the Toronto Raptors. That will be Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final in the NBA coming up later tonight. But it was Crosby, Kunitz, Hagelin, and Kessel getting the 4 goals needed for the Pens now to go up 2 games to 1 against Tampa in the Eastern Conference Final. They were winners last night. Again, that final 4-2, and they'll be playing again tomorrow night. But let's talk about Matt Murray, the amazing rookie netminder. 26 saves, and Tampa Bay came out firing, and he was there to answer the call. Another great performance for this young kid.
Yeah, another solid performance from him. He's the most veteran rookie I've known in a long time. He's playing great. His teammates believe in him. He believes in himself. Everybody believes in him. I think Pittsburgh is very excited to have him in that right now.
48-28, the Pens outshot Tampa Bay. They were flying last night.
They were. It was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was great. I mean, they were skating. They had control of the puck. They did well in the offensive zone, defensive zone, neutral zone. I think that was their game. I don't think they could. I don't think Tampa Bay could touch them last night.
Ben Bishop, even though he did work out in full gear at the skate yesterday in the morning, there was speculation he might be ready to go for Game 4, but that's not the case. Now it's trending. It looks like he won't go. So what does that mean, if anything, for Tampa Bay?
I mean, obviously, if Bishop comes back in that, that's going to give them a little boost. But their backup has been really good. He played really well last night again. I don't think any goals was him to blame. And I don't think it's going to change their mindset. They got to go out and do what they need to do to beat the Penguins. But the Penguins are playing so well right now that I just don't see it happen.
Yeah, and by the way, Tyler Johnson and Andres Palat will be the 2 guys that will get the credit for the 2 goals last night. Andrei Vasilevsky, of course, a 21-year-old Russian, looks like he will be in net again. Tampa, as far as coming out as fast as they did, by Matt Murray turning away 12 shots. I mean, as soon as that first period got underway, I think that made everyone realize if this kid is supposed to start to worry as a rookie, it's not going to happen anytime soon.
No, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. He likes to say that he stays in the moment, and I think he does. He stays in the moment. He doesn't veer off too much if he does, and it's been working really well for him. And like I said before, the Penguins are playing a much different game in front of him. Not to say that they play different in front of Fleury, but with Sullivan as a coach, they play a solid defensive game too. So he's got all the elements to work it out.
Victor Hedman, 6'7" defenseman, was literally like a blanket all over Sidney Crosby, 5'11". But Sidney Crosby is extremely strong, and I tell you, it's nice to see him getting a goal in the last couple of games. Of course, the OT winner, and then getting one last night as well in the third period. But explain to the audience how he is a smarter player today. He doesn't really risk his body as he did as a younger player.
Right, like we were talking about before his big concussion, he was the kind of player that would go in front of that in the heat of the action, get cross-check a lot, slash, push, everything he can imagine. And now I think he goes just a little step back where you need to be, but not getting cross-check as much. I mean, this is the playoffs. He's going to get pushed around a little bit, but not as bad as it could be.
Doing a little homework, a little Wikipedia on you earlier today. What a tremendous hockey player you were. And I want everyone to realize that I'm sure already does, those who love Jean-Sebastian Aubin and the game of hockey, being from Montreal, which is pretty special. But let's face it, I think a lot of people do not realize, not because it's been a while since he played, but because he's really been our, meaning property. He's our native son. He's our guy, Mario Lemieux. Mm-hmm. But in Montreal, if you think he's popular here, right, it's a whole together different story. Talk about his celebrity and what he means to that part of the world.
Oh, it's for us, he's the Wayne Gretzky of the rest of Canada, for Quebec anyway.
Right.
He's, but to be honest, I believe, even though he doesn't have the records like Gretzky does, but he's got a bunch of them, he's probably the best player that's ever played. No question. He's got hurt a few times, he got sick, and he still put up so many numbers. So he's a living legend back home, and will stay like that for a while.
And for those who know his hockey ability, I've seen him golf. He can swing a golf club, can he?
He looks like Ernie Els. Is that
Really?
amazing? Talented like he was in hockey, and he plays golf like this. Come on.
Ernie Els, by the way, at 2 under. The question is, did Jimmy Maggs really teach him his swing is what I want to know.
That is not true at all. And for the record, Jimmy stands right behind us, or in front of us.
Jimmy's doing exactly what he does best. He's behind us counting the money in the register. Listen, this is the public course. It's a beautiful day. I've been telling you about it since early this morning when I did that wonderful piece on Byron Nelson from the Pratte Gym. If you've never experienced the club at Shadow Lakes and their amazing food, the ambiance, and more importantly, this incredible golf course, what are you waiting for? We'll be talking golf next. Back in the Pratte Gym, Robert Garrigus, along with Martin Flores, James Hahn, Charles Howell III, Matt Kuchar, and Scott Piercy are all chasing the leader at the AT&T Byron Nelson, the Four Seasons Club in Irving, Texas. That leader is Sergio Garcia. This par 70 course, he had an amazing round 63. He is at 7 under. So there you have it, your leader by 2 after 1 round of the AT&T Byron Nelson is Sergio Garcia. Coverage tomorrow on the Golf Channel at 3:30. Jordan Spieth from Texas is back in his home state, trying to recapture his game. Okay today, shot a 1 under. And as I said moments ago, Ernie Els shot a 2 under. So there you have it. And now we're going back to the club at Shadow Lakes for a very special golf story that definitely is very timely as we approach Memorial Day. One more note as the sun begins to set here at the club at Shadow Lakes. You know, following your Pratte Pack for years, how important Memorial Day is to me. And coming up on Rob Pratte Monday night on KDKA, May 28th, we will salute our veterans. And also I'll be joined by Tony Accomando, Friends of Da Nang, and is also creating service dogs for veterans. He'll drop by on the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline to talk about that, as will good friend Steve Monteleone from It's All About the Warrior Foundation. So the game of golf and Memorial Day, how do they go hand in hand? Well, he's a Lifetime Achievement Award-winning member of the World Golf Hall of Fame. We're talking, of course, about the 34th President of the United States, Dwight D. Eisenhower, who didn't pick up a golf club until he was 35, but shortly thereafter was shooting in his 80s. Pretty amazing. But it's even more amazing what he did as a 5-star general. He graduated from West Point Military School in 1950 and was a part of that football team and actually did tackle the legendary Jim Thorpe, but he tackled much more as the Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces. He planned and supervised the invasion of North Africa, Operation Torch, from 1942 to 43, and he's most known for the invasion of France and Germany, June of 1944, Normandy. In 1951, the Supreme Commander of NATO, and of course he is of Pennsylvania Dutch ancestry, but more importantly, he is now buried in his home state of Kansas, and his legacy will live on forever, as does our freedom. Remembering Dwight D. Eisenhower as we approach Memorial Day with your Pratte Pack from the club at Shadow Lakes. Good